Energy has played a pivotal role in the development of human civilization. From the earliest times, humans have relied on the energy stored in biomass for survival. With the Industrial Revolution, the demand for energy increased exponentially, leading to the widespread use of fossil fuels. However, the growing concern about climate change and environmental degradation, there has been a renewed focus on finding alternative sources of energy that are sustainable and environmentally friendly. The history of energy is marked by a series of transitions, from the use of firewood and charcoal to coal, oil, and gas. The discovery of steam power in the late 18th century fueled the Industrial Revolution, leading to a significant improvement in manufacturing, transportation, and agriculture. The 20th century saw the rise of the petroleum industry, which dominated the global energy landscape for decades. However, the negative environmental impacts of fossil fuel, including air pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and oil spills, have led to a growing interest in renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal power have been around for centuries. However, it is only in the past few decades that they have gained mainstream acceptance as viable alternatives to fossil fuels. The renewable energy sector has seen significant growth in recent years, with investments in wind and solar power reaching record highs. Governments around the world have also introduced policies and incentives to encourage the adoption of renewable energy. Despite the progress made in the renewable energy sector, there are still challenges that need to be addressed. One of the main obstacles to the widespread adoption of renewable energy is the intermittency of wind and solar power. Unlike fossil fuels, which can be stored and used on demand, renewable energy sources are dependent on weather conditions and time of day. This has led to the development of energy storage technologies such as batteries and pumped hydro, which can store excess energy generated during periods of high production and release it during periods of low production. Another challenge facing the renewable energy sector is the need for infrastructure upgrades. The existing energy infrastructure, which was designed for the centralized generation and distribution of electricity, may not be well suited for the decentralized and intermittent nature of renewable energy. To support the growth of renewable energy, investments in grid modernization, smart grid technology, and energy storage infrastructure will be necessary. Looking to the future, there is much speculation about what the energy landscape will look like in the coming decades. Some experts predict a continued growth in renewable energy, with wind and solar power becoming the dominant sources of electricity in many parts of the world. Others envision a future where energy is produced and consumed locally, with homes and businesses generating their own electricity through solar panels and wind turbines. There is also a growing interest in the potential of hydrogen as a clean energy source. Hydrogen can be produced from renewable energy sources and used as a fuel for transportation and power generation. While there are still challenges to be addressed, such as this high cost of production and storage, hydrogen has the potential to play a significant role in the transition to a low-carbon economy. In addition to renewable energy sources and hydrogen, there is also growing interest in the potential of fusion and nuclear energy as clean and reliable energy sources. Fusion is the process of combining atomic nuclei to release energy. It is the same process that powers the sun and other stars. Fusion has the potential to provide a virtually unlimited source of clean energy with no greenhouse gas emissions or radioactive waste. However, it is a challenging technology to develop as it requires extreme temperatures and pressures to achieve fusion reactions. There are several experimental fusion reactors currently in development, such as the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, which is expected to begin operation in the mid-2020s. While there is still much work to be done before fusion can become a commercial energy source, the potential benefits are significant. Nuclear energy, on the other hand, is a more established technology that has been in use for several decades. Nuclear power plants use nuclear reaction to generate electricity, producing no greenhouse gas emissions or air pollution. However, there are concerns about the safety of nuclear energy, particularly in the wake of the Fukushima and Chernobyl disasters. There is also the issue of nuclear waste, which remains radioactive for thousands of years and requires careful handling and storage. Despite these challenges, some experts argue that nuclear energy has a role to play in the transition to a low-carbon economy, particularly in countries where renewable energy sources may not be as viable. In conclusion, the history of energy has been marked by a series of transitions, from the use of biomass to fossil fuels, and more recently, renewable energy sources. While there are still challenges to be addressed, the growing demand for clean, sustainable, and affordable energy is driving the development of new technologies and business models. The future of energy is likely to be marked by a diverse range of energy sources and a decentralized energy system that empowers individuals and communities to take control of their energy needs.